Well, as you can see, that was a very interesting one we've just seen anyway. This is one of the RAF Boeing P-8. This is anyway. This is one of the so yeah, as you can see, this is the Boeing P-8 Poseidon, or whatever it's called anyway, but I can't pronounce the word anyway. But as you can see, this one here, as you can see, I think this has just came down possibly from Newquay Airport anyway, which obviously this is where he's been training for the last couple of days, just over at basically, as you can see, this is where he was today apparently. As you can see, he was around so yeah, obviously I never knew that this was coming down anyway, especially I've never seen that Boeing P-8 I might be able to pronounce that to Siri anyway, just to see what it is anyway. Can't be able to hear it, it's just, you know, trying to speak up to Siri.
Poseidon.
So as you can see, that is the Boeing P-8 Poseidon, it is. So I think that's what it is anyway. Also might have to say that again, but just, you know.
Poseidon.
Yeah. I think that's what that military plane that we just seen anyway. Basically, I think this is one of the what I call the military transport aircraft anyway, which is basically, I think this is the aircraft that's based down at RAF Loosmouth anyway. So basically, this has been staying over at Newquay Airport for around since yesterday, I believe anyway. But obviously, that's been staying over Newquay Airport since possibly, I believe, last night anyway. Obviously, it's been staying over there last night anyway. So yeah, it's been interesting because obviously I never knew that this was obviously coming down anyway, but obviously this is where I was tracking this one anyway, which I was obviously I was end up tracking this aircraft anyway, which obviously I never knew that this was coming down my place in Penryn anyway, around 25,000 feet anyway, which looks like I think it's doing what I call some manual circuits over at Newquay Airport anyway, which normally we don't get planes that does circuits over at Newquay Airport anyway, which normally we don't obviously quite get it from, we don't normally get planes that come here quite often when it trains over at Newquay Airport, especially when it's used for like circuit training and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so as you can see, it's got the registration ZP802, and that is, and it's got a call sign GURNY01, it is. As you can see, it's got a call sign GURNY01, that's the call sign for that one anyway. Which, as you can see, it has been out training just over the North Ocean anyway, been training just over on the North Atlantic Ocean apparently. Obviously it's been doing a lot of training over there anyway, especially for like, say like for warplanes and all that, you know. I think it kind of used for training survey, I think this is what the military aircraft does sometimes anyway, especially it does it over on the North Atlantic Ocean from there. So yeah, but obviously I was a bit surprised to see that coming tonight anyway. I was a bit surprised to see that here tonight, especially in the Boeing P-8 Poseidon. So yeah, but I will have a look where he's come down from, especially Flyway 24 should probably know. So there it was. This is one that's operated by the Royal Air Force. So basically, this is the one that's operated by the Royal Air Force apparently. So this is the Royal Air Force Boeing Poseidon MRA1. This is, I think this is the make of this aircraft anyway. Currently, it's a bit similar to what I called. As you can see, this wave here looks a bit similar to the Boeing 737. Apparently, this is currently a bit similar to the Boeing 737 aircraft, which currently is a bit similar to the what I call the Ryanair Boeing 737, and especially on other aircraft as well. Which the Ryanair Boeing 737 is the one we normally see every other time when it's normally like flying around, especially when it's coming from like, normally we see the flights from Faro, Alicante, and all that. Especially they tend to go into Newquay Airport anyway. Obviously, basically they tend to go into Newquay Airport quite often for like most of the time and all that. So yeah, which that's what they do nowadays. basically they're going to Newquay Airport, especially for their flights and all that. Yeah. So the registration was ZP802. It's the registration for that one. That's the Boeing P-8-A, it is. So if I go to 3rd of September, so basically this is where it came out from. It's basically came out from this base just at RAF Loosmouth. Apparently this is where he's based at, literally just all the way from RAF Loosmouth. This is where it's based at, apparently. So basically this is where the Boeing P-8-A is based at. So basically he's based at RAF Loosmouth. So basically this is where he came down from yesterday, and all the way down, as you can see, all the way down from Scotland. Apparently it's just basically came all the way down from Scotland, passed over Glasgow, past Liverpool, past Cardiff, and then just from here he then basically travelled all the way from basically travelled all the way from RAF Loosmouth and down to Cornwall Airport, Newquay in Cornwall, which obviously has been staying over my place last night anyway. Which hopefully, I think by the time tonight it should travel back to its base at RAF Loosmouth by tonight, I suppose. On all that's just staying for another night at Newquay Airport, but I'm not too sure, depending on what it's doing anyway. But I never knew that the RAF Boeing P-8-A was coming down here tonight, but I don't see why it came down here this afternoon. Which this was very surprising to see. Apparently, I never knew that came down quite low. Even though the last time I saw this was back in last year, I believe. Anyway, basically that was on a proper training last year ago. That's what I do remember. I do remember the Boeing P-8 aircraft operated by the RAF, which obviously this is the one I remember seeing last time ago. So yeah, it was I was kind of very surprised to see that though. Even if I never knew that it was coming down, flying past my place in Penryn, which I never knew it came down. Which normally this is why we never see such airplanes that they do come to do circuit training at Newquay Airport, which I never knew that they came down to Newquay Airport for circuit training, especially after it's been for this mission and all that, you know. I never knew that came down. So yeah, I never knew this just came down, apparently. Normally because they normally does circuit over at Newquay Airport, normally, not just where it's coming from. Normally it doesn't do circuit laps over at Newquay and down to South Cornwall normally, because this is what some planes don't normally do, apparently. So yeah, this is what they don't normally do at times anyway, especially when they go to do circuits at Newquay Airport and come down South Cornwall, where I am in Penryn. Normally they don't normally come down here normally, which is a bit surprising. Basically I was surprising to see that, but you know, and yeah. Okay, so yep, thanks for watching, bye bye.